So I'd like to start by taking a moment and establishing a comfortable posture, and you can decide what that looks like today. It might be sitting up, it might be lying down, it might be standing. I'd like you to feel stable and at ease. And then once in this posture, I'd like you to take a moment, and I want to do a quick check-in before we discuss kind of what's going on in the world. So I want you to, if it's comfortable, close your eyes. And if you'd like to have your eyes open, please do. Cultivate a soft gaze in that case. And then you can shift your awareness inward. And I'd like you to start by just noticing a felt sense of your body. And this is just right here, right now. What does your body feel like right here, right now? No judgment. It might be temperature, it might be sensation, it might be the clothes touching your skin, your body touching the floor. Noticing that felt sense of your body at the beginning of your practice. Shifting your awareness and notice your breath. And again, this can be that felt sense of your breath. What moves as you breathe? Do you notice the pace? Do you notice the rhythm? Are you congested? Shift your awareness, and I'd like you to notice the state of your mind. Is your mind here? Is it elsewhere? Is it running around in circles? And then as we're recording this, this is day one of the stay-at-home order, province-wide in Ontario. So I wanted to take a moment and I want you to check in around that. So if this is uncomfortable for you and you don't want to go there today, fine. You can focus on your breath instead. Or maybe you don't live in Ontario and the stay-at-home order doesn't affect you. You can think about what else is going on. So maybe there's a stay-at-home order and it affects you, or maybe there's a stay-at-home order and really you've got bigger things on your plate. And I would like you to think about how that feels in the body. So I'm going to give you an example. So when the stay-at-home order was announced, it felt like all week that kind of like the alarm bells were raising, right? Schools in one district started shutting down. Schools in another district started shutting down with like, the kids were notified the afternoon before they were supposed to go in the next morning. The numbers are rising. I notice more stories on the radio about younger people in the hospital. So for me, it felt like the alarm bells were starting to get louder and louder earlier in the week. And then the stay-at-home order came. And you can think about how that felt in your body. Did you feel a frantic energy to do things kind of like a squirrel preparing for winter? Did you feel like collapsing on the couch? Did you have a lot of mental energy, spinning, spinning, spinning? Or did you have no mental energy at all and it just seemed really foggy in your head? Or maybe you thought, oh, finally, stay at home and you feel safe and you're happy about it. Maybe when you heard this, some armoring came up, some tension in the body. So I want you to take a moment and just reflect on the last day or two in terms of the body, in terms of your breath, in terms of your mind. And it might just be that you notice a sensation, a constriction, or a lethargy. Or maybe you're more awake. Maybe it's stimulating. Maybe it's aggravating. Not judging what you're feeling, but noticing, aware of. And then we're going to take just a moment and I want to gently tense the muscles. So you can gently make fists with the hands, curl up the shoulders near the ears. You can scrunch up the face, tight, tight, tight. Squeeze tighten the legs, the glutes, the belly, curl the toes, tight, 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 tight. And then release and let go. And take a few breaths here. And as you inhale, see if you can find a gentle sense of spaciousness in the body, specifically in the chest. As you inhale, that little bit of expansion, bringing a sense of spaciousness in the chest, as if you could let go of some of that constriction, some of that armoring. Good. And then I'd like to start lying on the ground today. So if you're not there now, I'd like you to make your way down to the ground. And if you have your head resting on a pillow, you can move that to the side, and we'll come all the way down onto the back with the knees bent and the hands down on the floor next to the hips. And as you inhale, I want to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, lower the hips back down to the ground. Good. One more time like this. Inhaling, lifting the hips up. And exhaling as you lower the hips back down. Moving with your own breath, moving in your own comfortable range of motion. Always adjust as needed in your practice. This time we'll try adding the arms. So we'll inhale, lift the hips up, lifting the arms up and back. And then as you exhale, lower the arms and the hips. And again, inhaling, lifting the hips up, lifting the arms up. Toes down, heels down, exhaling as you lower. And then we're going to go up again and stay. And you can choose, you can leave the arms down or you can raise them up and back. And then staying in the pose, counting your breaths. Counting each inhale and exhale as one breath. Letting your toes relax down, keeping the heels down. Feeling the strength that's required in this pose. A few more breaths here. So notice if this is challenging. I'm looking for a little bit of a challenge, but not something that's aggravating for your body. So if you feel like you're moving into that aggravating zone, please come out. Otherwise, we'll stay for a few more breaths. Feeling the strength in your muscles. And then when you're ready, exhaling and lowering down if you haven't already. We're going to hug the knees in toward the chest, rock a bit from side to side. So a little bit of ease. Good. And then let's come over onto the stomach, lying on the belly. We're going to lower the forehead to the ground, or you can rest on one cheek. I've got the hands beside, underneath the shoulders, but I'm not going to use the hands to push up. So as you inhale, like you to inhale, lift the head and chest up off of the ground. Lift the hands so that you can remind yourself that you're not pushing up into the pose. And then as you exhale, lower it back down. And we'll do that one more time, inhaling as you come up. And again, you can lift the hands as a reminder that we're not pushing into them, and exhale as you lower. You can stay with this variation, or for more work, you can lift both legs up. Inhaling head and chest, both legs up. And exhaling as you lower. Inhaling and lifting. And exhaling and lowering. If you like, you can add to this by lifting the arms up and wide. You're welcome to leave the arms down or the legs down. Really adjust for your body, but find the variation where you feel that you're working. So I want you to feel like you're working the body without overtaxing the back. It can be a fine line, so make sure that you care for yourself. When you're ready, inhaling head and chest up, arms up, legs up, and then exhale as you lower. And one more time, inhaling up. And exhaling down. Take a breath or two in the down position. Check in with your body here. We're going to go up one last time, and this time we're going to stay. You can choose the variation. Again, counting your breath, staying 6 to 8 breaths if that works for your body this evening. Remember, you can break it in 2 if you like, doing maybe 3 or 4 breaths and then coming down and then coming back up. When you're ready, inhaling up, choosing the variation, making sure that you're breathing. So in yoga, we listen to the breath, breathing in and out through the nose. And often when we're overdoing something, the breath will become uneven. It'll become gaspy or louder. These are often signs to come out of a pose, to do more repetitions, to build strength. Here I'm trying to intentionally work strong as a reminder that we can do this by making the body uncomfortable in our yoga practice. It's a reminder that we can tolerate difficult challenges outside of yoga. Here we're working with the physical challenge of staying in a strong posture, keeping the mind focused on the breath, focused on the body. And then when you're done, exhaling and lowering down. And then we'll do a counter pose on the hands and knees. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Inhaling here. And as you exhale, bring your hips towards your heels. Some people like to go halfway back. Some people like to go 2/3 of the way, maybe all the way. You choose for your body. We're going to do repetitions. So if you want to start halfway and then with each repetition go a little bit further, you're welcome to. Inhaling hands and knees and exhaling hips back towards the heels. Inhaling forward and up. And exhaling, belly towards the spine, hips back, bend the elbows, lots of space between the shoulders and the ears. We're going to do this 3 more times. You can stay with this linear forward and back, or you're welcome to add a little bit of undulation and movement to this so that as you exhale, maybe it's a little bit side to side. Maybe it's a little bit up and down. out of your habit, stretching and moving in different ways. And you can do the same as you inhale forward and up. So for some people, the undulation movement feels really helpful for getting kind of into the nooks and crannies, for easing tension in odd places. But if your body isn't feeling stable, then sometimes the undulation feels a little bit aggravating. And so staying in that linear mode, forward and back, can be helpful. So we're really adapting the yoga for your needs today. Good. And from here, I'd like to do some plank pose. So again, this is along the lines of working a little bit of strength. So here's some options for this. We're going to exhale inside one leg back. And the first option is to just have this be your plank pose. So I've got one knee on the ground, one leg back. Inhaling onto the hands and knees. And then as you exhale, belly towards the spine, as you straighten the opposite leg back, really trying to keep the pelvis very stable, the body very still as you move in and out of this. This work can be really, really helpful for building core strength and caring for the body. Just by really focusing this very, very stable movement, one leg at a time. If you'd like more work, you can step one leg back and then the other, nice and long through the crown of the head. And if this is new for you, coming in and out of it is very helpful. So inhaling onto the hands and knees and exhaling as you step back nice and long, feet through the crown of the head. If you've been practicing yoga for a while, plank pose may be easy for you. And if that's true for you, then I would like you to go into plank pose and to stay. And to notice your breath as you stay. If this is still super easy, you can lift one leg up. And if you like, you can lift the opposite arm as well. So again, you can push this a little bit, staying a little bit longer for a stronger pose. Putting your body in that physical position of having to do more work to support you. And then when you're ready, coming back onto the hands and knees and bringing the hips back towards the heels. Good, and then we'll come up to standing from here. And we're going to step the feet wide apart. And we're going to start with some forward bend. So inhaling the arms wide and up. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. We're going to bring the hands to the low back today. Tuck the chin at the end of your forward bend. As you inhale, open the arms wide, lift the chest away from the thighs all the way back up to standing. The arms can come wide or up. Exhale back into your forward bend, sweeping the hands to the low back. And again, inhaling arms wide all the way back up. We'll change it this time. Exhaling forward and down, hands to the low back. Inhale up halfway. Arms wide, nice open chest. Exhaling back to your forward bend. Bring your hands onto your legs. Inhale and bend one knee. Move over to one side. Exhale, center. Inhale, bend the opposite knee, so we're stretching the inside of the thigh. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, arms wide all the way back up. And we'll do that again, exhaling, forward bend. Inhaling up halfway, a little bit higher maybe. Lift the chest, lift the sternum. Exhale, hands to the low back, back to your forward bend. Run the hands down the legs. Inhale, bend one knee. Exhale, center. Inhale, bend the opposite knee. Exhale, center. We're going to do that one more time on each side. So for some of you, you may need to keep the hands quite high. Inhaling as you bend the knee. Exhaling, center. And other side, inhaling. And exhaling, center. Good. Inhale, arms wide all the way back up. Go ahead and lower the arms down and step your feet together. And then that little bit of movement to let go of any tension. So I always like to move my feet, circle my feet around my ankles after this. You can circle the shoulders if you like. Good. We're going to do a twist from here. And for this particular twist, I always like to use a block. So I have a block. You could use a stack of books. You can bring your hand to a chair or a stool or the bed or the table or the leg instead, if you like. So for this twist, what we're going to do is we're going to start by coming into legs wide. We're going to hinge at the hips and fold forward. I'm going to bring my left hand over to the right side. So it can be onto your right leg or onto your block, onto a chair. But we're going to twist to the right. So I'm going to inhale and bring my hand up to the shoulder. And I'm going to exhale there. I'm going to inhale and reach the arm forward so it's up by my ear. And then I'm going to exhale, bend the elbow, gaze up past my right hand, bending the elbow. And then I'm going to come up to standing. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Folding forward, I'm going to bring my right hand over to the left side. It could be your left leg, the block, or the chair. I'm going to bring the hand by the shoulder as I inhale and exhale. I'm going to inhale and reach the arm forward. Exhale, bend the elbow. I'm going to gaze past my right hand. And then I'm going to inhale my left hand. Inhale, arms wide back to center, and lower the arms. I'm going to try that again. You ready? Inhaling, arms wide. Exhaling, left hand to the right, leg, block, chair. And this time I'm going to inhale and bring my right arm forward, kind of up by my ear. As I exhale, I'm going to bend my right elbow, gaze past my right hand, which is by my shoulder. We're going to stay here and stretch that arm forward. So inhaling and reaching the right arm forward, pain-free range of motion for the head, for the neck, for the shoulder. Exhale, bend the elbow and turn the head. Good. Inhale. Let's go arms wide about halfway, and then we'll just go to the other side from here. Exhaling into the twist, hand by the shoulder. Inhale as you reach the left arm forward. You can gaze at the palm. Exhale, left hand by the left shoulder. You can gaze back. Inhale as you reach forward with the left arm. Exhale, left hand by the left shoulder. Inhale, arms wide all the way back up to standing, and then lower the arms. We're going to do this one last time, staying longer in the twist. Inhaling, arms wide. Exhaling as you twist, my left hand is down. Inhale the right arm forward, gaze at the right hand. Exhale, right hand by the right shoulder, bend the right elbow, gaze to your right. Inhale, reach that same arm forward. You can gaze at the palm or up. This time, same arm movement, but gaze down. Exhaling, right elbow bends, right hand by the right shoulder, gaze down towards your left hand or down to the left. 2 more breaths here. Inhaling as you reach. Exhale, bend the elbow. Inhale as you reach. Exhale, bend the elbow, this time gaze down. Inhale, halfway position, arms wide, and then we'll twist to the other side. Right hand comes down. As you inhale, the left arm comes forward. Exhale, bend the elbow, gaze to your left. Inhale, the left arm forward. Exhale, bend the left elbow, gaze right. Inhale as you reach. Exhale, bend the left elbow, gaze left. Inhale forward. Exhale, bend the left elbow, gaze right. Good. Inhale, arms wide. Lower the arms. Good. Step your feet together. You can circle the shoulders. And again, let go of any tension. So if you need to move the feet or the hips or the shoulders, please do. And then take a moment in your equal standing posture, hands by your side. You can close your eyes. Feel the breath moving in your body now. Notice where you feel the work that you've been doing. I'm hoping with some of this muscle contraction and then stretch that we're starting to create some space in the body. By contracting the muscles, it's easier for them to let go. So if we've been doing some of that armoring because of stress, like engaging in the tension and then letting it go to help dismantle some of the armoring that's happening in the body. I'd like to come to down facing dog from here, and you have a choice. So for some people, they like down facing dog, and for some people, not so much. So if you prefer, you can do Chakravakasana instead, inhaling hands and knees, exhaling hips back, inhaling forward. And if being on the hands and knees doesn't work for you, you can do a standing forward bend instead. Otherwise, we'll do some down facing dog, inhaling here, raising the collarbones, and then as you exhale, curling the toes under, lifting the hips up and back, pressing into the hands. You can keep the knees bent so you can find length in the spine. And again, if this is new for you, or you're building strength in this pose, as you inhale, you can come back onto the hands and knees. And as you exhale, you can move back into the posture, bending the knees generously. If this posture is easy for you, please go into it and stay. No matter where you are with this posture, noticing your breath, feeling your breath move in your body. So if you've been doing repetitions and would like to just stay, you're welcome to do so. If you're looking for more work staying, you're welcome to raise one leg up and back, staying there for a few breaths. And then after a few breaths with one leg up, raising the opposite leg up for the same amount of time. Raising the leg isn't required. I'm hoping that you can find an interesting challenge that you can be within this pose, that you can feel your strength building, can feel your muscles engaging. And for the last few breaths, if you'd like to bend one knee and then the other, that same sort of idea that we had with the undulation, gently moving the body. Can be micro movements, just to gently shift where we feel the stretch or the contraction, the strength. And then when you're ready, inhaling onto the hands and knees, exhaling, hips back. And then from here, we'll make our way onto the back. And we'll do a spinal twist. I find that this is often helpful for releasing some tension in the body. You can do this with feet on the ground or knees in toward the chest. We'll inhale here towards center, and then as you exhale, twisting to one side. Inhale back to center, and then exhale other side. I think of the twists as often about unwinding in the body. So noticing how the twist felt going side to side, and then using your discernment to see how you'd like to work with this posture. So if twists are challenging for you, doing repetitions, in and out, exhaling into the twist, inhaling back to center. Or if you like, you're welcome to stay in the twist. And then you can think about where you want to play with the work of this. So if you'd like more work in the leg or the hip, you can straighten the top leg. Some very flexible people will be able to reach their toes, not all of us. Or you can keep the knees bent. And if you'd like, you can find a little bit of nice neck and shoulder work by inhaling the arm up, back behind the head, head to center. And then as you exhale, like you're making a half of a snow angel, sweeping the arm wide and down and turning the head away. Pain-free range of motion. Inhaling, sweeping the arm wide and up, head to center. Exhaling, sweeping the arm wide and down and turning the head away. A couple more breaths in the pose. And then coming back to center if you were staying on that side. If you need a counter pose, you can hug the knees in toward the chest a few times. And then when you're ready, twisting in the opposite direction. And again, mirroring what you did on the other side. So if you straightened the leg on the other side, you're welcome to do the same here. Noticing the difference side to side. And then if you did the sweeping arm movement, as you inhale, sweeping the arm wide and up, head to center. Exhaling, sweeping the arm wide and down, turning the head away. Inhaling, head to center, sweeping the arm wide and up along the ground. Pain-free range of motion. Exhaling, sweeping the arm wide and down, turning the head away. 2 more breaths here. Often with these kinds of movement, it can be really helpful to find some space in the torso, that contracting and stretching and twisting. Can help to free up the diaphragm, can help the breath to move a little bit more easily. And then when you're ready, coming back to center, exhaling, hugging the knees in. And then you have a choice here. You can either let the arms straighten and let the knees move away, let the feet relax, exhaling and hugging the knees in. Or if you feel that the backs of your legs could use a little bit of a stretch, as you inhale, you can bring the legs up to a pleasant stretch, not forcing anything. Exhaling and hugging the knees in. A few more breaths in either Apanasana, hugging the knees in and out, or legs extended upwards to hugging the knees in. Hugging the knees in on the exhale. Legs up or knees away on the inhale. Then we'll bring the feet back to the ground. You can take a moment and straighten the legs along the ground. Gently rock them side to side so you can feel the movement all the way up into the hip joints. Good. And then we're going to do a little bit of breathing. You can do this lying down or sitting up, your choice. My idea this evening was also to work with softening, and so lying down might be very pleasant for that. If you got your towel or blanket and want to fold it up to that nice narrow fold to be underneath the spine, you're welcome to do that. Some people find that's very helpful for opening the chest to undo some of that hunching that we do when working with devices. And then I like to let the palms face up just outside of the hips. Let's keep the knees bent a little bit. You're welcome to rest them over a bolster or a pillow. But if you can keep the knees bent a little bit, it allows the diaphragm to move a little bit more freely by releasing the psoas. So here I want to start by just allowing the breath to settle. And then I'd like you to notice where you feel the movement of your breath. Some people like to put one hand on the upper chest and one hand on the low ribs. And notice where you feel the breath moving in your body. I'm hoping you're breathing through the nose, as this is very helpful for breathing throughout the day. The nose humidifies and cleans the air that we breathe in. It prepares it to enter the lungs. So nose breathing is super important if you can do that. And then noticing where you feel the movement of the breath in your body. If you feel the upper chest moving, encouraging that area to be quiet and still. And see if we can feel the movement of the breath in the low ribs. As you inhale, the low ribs gently expand. As you exhale, they gently relax back. The upper chest is quiet and still. Allowing the breath to slow down. Notice the pace of your breath. If it feels like the breath is moving quickly, think about slowing down the breath. I like to do this by slowing down the exhale. This is a silent, subtle breath, small in volume, but it can be slow, steady. If you find that this breathing pattern isn't comfortable for you, you can let it go. And then let go of control of your breath. And from here, you have a choice. You're welcome to stay here for the short meditation. Or if you've been working on your meditation skills and would like to come up to sitting, then please do. You choose for your body this evening. Taking a moment, whether you're lying down or sitting up, to make sure that you've established that comfortable posture, making any adjustments that are necessary. I spoke earlier about this idea of armor, that constriction that sometimes appears when we are feeling stressed, when we're busy, when the circumstances are not helpful and we can't do anything about it, when we have upcoming deadlines. Often we feel that as a constriction in the chest, a tightness. And I think about just softening with each breath in and with each breath out. Gently soften. Being kind to yourself. Having compassion for yourself. And then shifting your awareness And again, checking in, noticing that felt sense of your body here at the end of your practice. Noticing that felt sense of your breath and the state of your mind. Mentally thanking yourself for your practice this evening. As always, I thank you for your practice. Thank you for being here.